Hey guys, it is Josh McDonald here, and in this video, it's a beginner SEO video. Received a few questions. I'm just going to clarify indexing, how to submit to Google, how to index your articles or web pages and such, how to do it the proper way, how to check if it's indexed, and if there's any other methods. Because I am asked about this stuff all the time, and then checked if it is penalized, if a website, a domain is penalized with respect generally to expired domain names. So let's dive into this. The first thing you can do, so if you're trying to index an article or a page on a website that you have full control over, and if you have it in Google Webmaster Tools, the simplest way to get something indexed quickly is to log into your dashboard. If you don't have Google Webmaster Tools installed and you want to install it, go ahead and just search on Google Webmaster Tools. It'll come up. You put in some HTML. It's very simple to do. If you're using WordPress, there's plugins for it. When you got it all set up and you confirmed ownership of the website, you can go down under the crawl menu, fetch as Google, and you can simply just enter in page123.html. You can enter in any page on your website, and then you just hit fetch. Quite simple. Google does it very quickly, and it will get indexed, within a couple minutes. Now the case is, if it's a URL that's not on your website, if it's a Web 2.0, if it's an authority link, if it's a contextual link, if any sort of backlink that you want to get indexed, or any sort of web page you want to get indexed, and you don't have Webmaster Tools installed on it, there is still another option. And so just go to Google and just type submit URL to Google. Very simple. And then it'll be this first one here. Click it, and then you can just simply enter in. You just take any URL, pop it in there, CAPTCHA, submit request. The request has been received and will be processed shortly, and that will take a little bit more time. In my experience, generally under an hour, but results may vary based on how much you submit, how much other people are submitting. But anyways, it's still quite fast. And then other methods of indexing, you can send social signals. Tweet it a bunch of times. Social signals are literally $1 for a URL on SEOclerks.com. It's like low quality, but it will get your stuff indexed. Also, if you saw my video on tiered link building, you can use GSA blasts and diversify, 5,000 links over 50 different Web 2.0s and get 100 links on each one. That'll also index them. What else? If you're doing this and you're submitting a bunch, don't leave a footprint, right? Make sure you use different accounts, proxies and such, but I wouldn't scale this, submitting too much here, unless you really know what you're doing. So just be careful, submit the URL here, it'll get quickly indexed, but don't leave a footprint. Okay, where are we at now? So we covered submit without, we covered the blasting tiered links. So check if a website is indexed. Okay. So the main way to check if something is indexed, many of you heard of it. It's just site colon and then your URL, right? Your domain. If I just put the domain in it, if I just put the domain name in, it's going to show me all the web pages that are indexed on the domain. So I have 109 pages indexed in Google. If I want to check a specific URL /blog, then you can see I have like 6 blog pages, and then including the first page, so I have 6 pages at this URL, and then if I go further, there's a second page of my blog index. There's one result. Yes, it is. So this is the best way, the most accurate way to check if it's indexed. There are other tools and such. There's no really need for those. Just check via Google itself using the site colon operator. And like I said, there's other methods, but there's no need to trust them when you can go right to Google and do it. Check it yourself. Now, with expired domain names, people want to check if it's if it's de-indexed, right? If the website is de-indexed, if it's penalized. It's generally not easy to do unless it was recently expired, because then it would still be in the results. The thing is with expired domain names, once they're crawled again and enough times that the website is down and the website is expired, the domain name is expired, Google will actually just de-index the URL temporarily. It's just because the domain name is no longer valid. So why show it to why show it to the Google searchers, the Google users, when there's no content really to be found? So it'll get de-indexed. Oops, it will get de-indexed, but just because it's de-indexed doesn't mean it's penalized. It just means that it's been dropped and Google has crawled it. The more powerful the domain name, the more often it's going to be crawled, the quicker it's going to drop off Google and be de-indexed. So if it's a really strong domain name, it might not be indexed 2 days from now, where if it was a garbage domain name that only gets checked and crawled every 30 days, it might be up there 2 months from now and still be on Google. So when you're buying an expired domain name, this isn't really a good way to check if it's de-indexed, because I sell domain names all the time to people, and they go, Josh, this domain name is indexed, I'm not going to register it, or sorry, it's de-indexed, I'm not going to register it. And I say, well, it's been, it's not been renewed, or it's been expired or dropped for so long that it's actually just, Google just took it off the results because it was no longer relevant to their users. If you check, what are the options then to confirm that it's not indexed or if it's not penalized? There are third-party checkers. I don't know how they work because I don't know the code, so I wouldn't trust them, and neither should you. But you'll see what I mean. If you just Google, like, is my domain de-indexed or penalized or something, there'll be a bunch. Here's one here, sandbox checker, right? So you can type in one. You can see what I already put here because I was already testing this. And this would obviously be some domain name that's never been registered ever. So hopefully it says that it's okay, and it does. And you can't really trust it. I mean, can you trust this? You don't know the code or anything behind it, right? So I see people using them. I can't speak for them, so I wouldn't trust them personally. Proceed with caution. Third-party checkers, and then just like in my expired domain name video, the one with 20,000 or 15,000 views, I can't remember, but I go through just spam checking, and I've also done some other videos on spam checking, just on checking the anchor text, checking the Wayback Archive, just going through a couple different points just to see if it's ever been spammed, and likely if it hasn't been spammed, it's likely still indexed. That's not a promise. But checking the archive, if it's been an affiliate site or a PBN, then likely, even if there is no spam, it could be penalized. So you have to be careful, and when you're registering your expired domain names, and buy them from someone who really knows what they're doing, and not just says they know what they're doing. Someone who actually has proof up there of articles or videos of showing what they know. Anyways, hope I clarified some stuff. Any questions, drop in the comments. I do read all the comments, even if I might not respond to all of them. I think that summarizes Google indexing. Check out my other videos if this helped in any way. I imagine if you're still listening to this, it helped you in some way or form. If you could please click the thumbs up button, that'd be highly appreciated. Thank you.